Welcome to Psychic Bent. My name is Carrie.
And I'm Kim. We are two sisters wanting to help other psychics learn and grow in their abilities and to help educate about spirits, angels, and everything psychic.
All right, welcome back, listeners. We are now on episode 15. Yay!
Yippee!
And we're easily entertained. But thank you for listening, and welcome back. This episode, we're going to be talking about metaphysical crystals and stones. Now, this may not be your thing, and you just might like pretty stones, or this might be your thing, or something you've not heard of, and it might grab your attention and may resonate with you. Hopefully it does. We talk about working with stones quite a bit in the episodes. I'm sure you've noticed that, meditating and you know what, journaling.
Yes.
But you won't have to journal in this episode if you don't, unless you want to. But I'm going to just basically, there's so many gemstones. So what do you pick? Yeah, it's like, which one do I want to talk about? Which one's the best ones to use for metaphysical? What should I go with? And it's if you Google gemstones, there's quite a bit to pick from. So
many.
Yes, so many. So I'm going to narrow it down to 15 best metaphysical crystals. I don't know what Kim's going to add to that, but I'm just going to shoot you with the 15 that I find are very important to your spiritual growth. They have different properties and do different things, and they're pretty. Yeah, they're pretty. So, we all come into the earth with a purpose, whether or not we choose to recognize it. For those of us who are ready to set out and do a spiritual journey and find true purpose, metaphysical crystals can help guide us along the winding path of divine realms and past lives. Our visual abilities and mental cognition have complex relationships that vary with each person. For some, the mind's eye just doesn't exist, making them unable to see and recall visuals in their mind. That's a condition called aphantasia. Now, when a person's mental imagery is so sharp that it can clearly reproduce every finite detail of an imagined image, it's called hyperanaphasia. Researchers estimate that only 2.6% of people experience it, according to a recent article published by the New York Times, which is amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Although researchers don't call it such, this condition sounds very similar to our understanding of metaphysical abilities, especially clairvoyance.
I said, that's true.
Even if we don't have hyperphantasia, that's a very hard word to say, by the way.
Yes,
we can still sharpen our mind's eye through deep spiritual study. And we've talked about that when we were going through the clairs. Mm-hmm. And I believe we touched a little bit on that also when we went through the chakras. Metaphysical crystals provide amazing assistance in honing our energies towards ascending to new spiritual depths. Now, I am going to point out, being that I do, like we spoke about craft shows and I sell my metaphysical gemstones and everything, everybody wants to go Google, what stone do I need for this? And your stones can have overlaying properties. So I find that the best way to pick out a gemstone is to physically go to a rock shop and pick out find the stone that's calling to you. Because sometimes what you think you need is not really what you need. You need something else. I've had that happen time and time again at a craft show. Oh, I'm looking for a specific stone. I want this. And I'll be like, are you sure? Well, yeah, I Googled the properties. I said, are you really sure? Are you sure that's what you want? And they're looking at me like, look, lady, you want to make a sale or not? And I'm just like, okay, are you left or right-handed? I'm right-handed. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pick up the stone with your left hand, because that's your receiving hand if you're right-handed, and you're going to feel the stone. If there's too much energy on the table, you may have to take a step back away from the table, hold it in your hand, and if you feel nothing, that's not the stone you need. If you feel heat, cold, vibrating, anything, or it just feels good, anything like that's what you're looking for when you pick a stone that you need for that point in time in your life. It's really funny. I've talked about the paranormal convention that I like to do, and I had someone looking for a protective stone. They were doing ghost hunting and investigating and such, and her friend was with her, and I kept looking at the lady. I said, would you just pick up that stone? And she picked it up. She goes, is it supposed to be vibrating in my hand? I went, if it's yours. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't wrapped in anything. I just had stones and I had jewelry and things. And she bought it. And she came back the next day and she goes, you really freaked me out about that stone thing yesterday. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And she goes, no. She goes, I've never thought of stones this way. She goes, it was really weird. She goes, but I want to touch another stone. And I said, okay, touch whatever you want. And she's like, she goes, none of them are vibrating. I said, because you're not supposed to have them. you have the one you're supposed to have. And then of course, I'm like, but don't let anybody touch it. It's your stone now.
Right.
So that was a good example of sometimes we think we know what we need, but spirit guides us to something different.
True, because you may think that this is what's going on and that's what you need a stone for, but it's actually something else.
Right, correct. So we're going to go over different properties of the stones of the 15 I'm going to list, and you're going to go over some different properties, I'm assuming, right?
Well, we're going to go through some fun things. We'll see.
Okay. Well, Kim's going to be a mystery.
I'm going to be a mystery.
I'm not. Just because I've touched on a few of these, that doesn't mean that those are the only ones, is what I guess I want to say, and what you're drawn to. So let's jump in. 15 best metaphysical crystals and stones. So when it comes to metaphysical crystals and stones, there are some that can help you safely access and explore the divine realms through the third eye and the crown chakras. Okay, so the first on my list is amethyst. Amethyst geodes and stones help activate communication to spiritual worlds in order to find higher consciousness. Amethyst is particularly adept at increasing clairvoyant ability, sharpening the mind's eye. As we open our spirit to receive incredible wisdom, we also make ourselves vulnerable to the possible influence of negative energy. This mighty crystal provides protection from negative frequencies present in the expanse of the universe. So that's a good one to have on hand.
Well, sure is. And it's pretty, too. I like the color.
It is pretty.
Purple.
It is pretty. Now, the next one on my list is selenite. Just one glance of selenite makes it clear that this metaphysical crystal has some divine power. The piercing white light that naturally emanates from selenite attracts messages and vibrations from the universe towards the crystal and its user. Selenite has the ability to amplify any intention or goal, so you can use this crystal to concentrate on specific metaphysical abilities in different ways. And we've also mentioned how selenite can also charge your stones and your jewelry. So it's a great conductor of that. I have a big slab of selenite right in front of on the TV console to help with energy.
Oh yeah,
that's
you do.
Coming. Yeah, that's emitting from the TV. So yeah, I've got selenite all over the house.
Yeah,
it does many things. But like I said, we're giving like a bite-sized nuggets, I guess you can call it, of these particular stones. Our next one is aura quartz. Now, aura quartz crystals involve... Start over. Quartz crystal's hard to say when you have aura in front of it.
Yeah, it is.
So, aura quartz crystals involve the coming together of a clear quartz with other precious earth metals, resulting in high vibrations that expand your personal spiritual aura to accept new wisdom and consciousness. These crystals, in a vast array of combinations, so perfectly represent the metaphysical work we do. The central quartz, seen as your prepared human essence and spiritual body, accepts the myriad messages from the spirit world, symbolizing in the earth metals, to become an enlightened being.
So when you say precious earth metals, like what exactly could that be? Are we talking gold in there, or what are we talking about?
You have different gemstones in there. You can have hematite inclusions. You could have, and we're going to get into some of the reticulated stones, where you could have actually bits of different minerals that actually formed within the crystal as part of the crystal.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't a crystal, but there's a stone called tiger iron. And tiger iron is basically tiger's eye and iron.
Oh.
And it formed as one stone.
Cool. Okay.
So Carrie's going to get geeky. When a stone forms, what decides the color of that stone is the gases that are around that stone when it's forming.
Mm-hmm.
So certain minerals in the ground and the gases are all going to make that stone unique in color to that area, wherever it's coming out of the ground. As an example, like tanzanite. Tanzanite is named basically from where it comes from, Tanzania. And that is usually the only spot you can get tanzanite. And it comes up from the ground, obviously. They mine it there. And eventually they're going to run out of tanzanite if it's found only in that area. And it's basically because the minerals and everything just work together to create the stone. Now, there's rumors that tanzanite might also be found in Russia. But Russia's known for stockpiling their gemstones. The rumor when I was in the jewelry industry was that if they ever let go of the diamonds that they have mined in Russia, and Russia has colorless diamonds, which is rare because of the ground, what's surrounding the stones, what causes the colors, the gases and such. Mm-hmm. So there's a rumor that they have been stockpiling diamonds for decades, and if they ever flooded the market, it would really just wipe things out.
Yeah. Financial market.
Financial market, yeah. But like I said, those are rumors. Don't know if that's true or not, so don't quote me. That's just, jewelry industry gossip. So on the Russia aspect of it. But in Tanzania, they've actually had some of the mines that have flooded and people have died, and they will not reopen those mines.
Oh.
So those are pretty much, you'll probably start seeing more lab created tanzanite, but that's a different podcast. That's nothing to do with psychic abilities or metaphysical stones.
Right.
But it's just kind of an example. And they're still heat treated. Like all stones are heat treated. If it's a clear stone, it's been heat treated. Mm-hmm. So they too can be heat treated as well. It's very rare to find something that hasn't. But let's move on to the next one.
Okay,
unless you have
sounds
any
good.
questions. You have any questions?
No.
Okay. The next victim is laser crystals. Laser crystals are a specific type of crystal wand that is shaped with a tapered point to maximize the targeted power of the stone. These metaphysical crystals can give you high vibrations that sync with the receiving aura of the divine wisdom. They are excellent in metaphysical practices because they direct the energy of the spirit to the third eye and crown chakras, mitigating any risk that this energy may land in someone else's unprepared psyche.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now, the next one is rainbow fluorite. This is nicknamed the genius stone. Oh, I need a couple of these. Sharp is more than the vision of the mind. It works to keep our mind focused so we become capable of absorbing metaphysical signals. Because it is such an incredible impact on our intellect, rainbow fluorite protects us from psychic attacks and manipulative thoughts. We learn to recognize the vibration we are meant to receive.
Wow.
You're going to need a couple of those.
Definitely. Stereo.
And the next one's one of my favorite stones. I love labradorites. They are I'm drawn to them, have always been drawn to them. That is the stone of magic. Labradorite transforms our spiritual perception. It targets our intuition to stimulate our thoughts and recognition of our metaphysical abilities. Its gifts come from the protective quality, creating a field of armor around your being to block negative energy entering your aura.
Ooh,
now
I see why you like that one.
Yes, that's why it's in my psychic protective necklace.
Yeah.
But it is a strong stone, and if you're just starting out developing your psychic abilities, you may want to test it out first to see how you react to it. Because I've had some people that they couldn't wear it. They had to take it off because it wasn't ready for them. I mean, you want to cleanse the stone and ask it to work for you, but sometimes it could be too much for you.
Too much of a vibration or too much energy?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes. I've never had problems with labradorite, but I think it's because I've always been drawn to it. I've had people tell me they've tried to wear it and they had to take it off. And it could be the situation where they didn't cleanse it properly, or they didn't ask the stone to work with them. So those could be situations as well. But yeah, it's not a stone everybody can wear it first. You may have to work through your chakras and developing your abilities before you jump on into the labradorite.
Good advice. Good advice.
Okay, lapis lazuli. And I'm just going to call it lapis because being in the jewelry industry as long as I was, I just like, it's called lapis, because lazuli is a tongue tie. Get your tongue tied. But if I refer to lapis, it is lapis lazuli. Okay. It's the otherworldly blue hue of lapis. It gives the first sign of the connection to the divine that these metaphysical crystals hold. The wisdom keeper, lapis aids in the retention of knowledge and awareness from spiritual study. Lapis helps pinpoint our unique spiritual purpose so we grow aware of the metaphysical work we need to undertake on Earth. Now, lapis is a beautiful blue, and it has little itty bitty gold flakes on throughout the stone. It's a very beautiful stone. It's kind of fun to play with and turn, and you just see the little sparkle. To me, I've always thought of it like a midnight sky, but it's not that dark.
Right.
All right, our next one is serpentine. Serpentine, named for its snake-like pattern, snakes its energy through the chakra system, giving off powerful vibrations to remove blockages and open the flow of the Kundalini energy. This Kundalini energy plays a critical role in metaphysical exploration. Serpentine supports access to past life visions and protects our mind from dark magic and negative energy, bringing us closer and closer to spiritual enlightenment.
I don't know that I can get past the snakish skin.
Well, you have some issues with the Kundalini. So.
Yes, I do. That too.
Yeah. So I think it's a double whammy for you.
Yeah.
Okay, now
sounds
we
like
have
a great crystal, though.
Oh yeah, I don't have one. I when I was I'm like, I don't have a serpentine, so I'm gonna have to try to get me one. All right,
you have a problem.
Yes, I do. I have a gemstone addiction, but they're pretty.
They're pretty. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so the next one is the Super 7. Some rather rare metaphysical crystals, namely the Super 7 stone, pack the properties of multiple crystals naturally fused together to make an all-around divine healing tool. Now, the Super 7 contains, obviously, 7 minerals. We have amethyst, clear quartz, smoky quartz, geothite, lepidocrosite, cocosynite, and rutile. This gives the crystal high energy that is balanced through the incorporation of so many healing properties. It raises our awareness on how every part of our being, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, contributes to our metaphysical work.
Wow, that sounds like a quite powerful one.
I have a few. I wire wrap it. It does go quickly. So I've just been kind of hoarding them. I guess I need to get them out there. But I'm like, ooh, I only have 3 left, So I just feel, sometimes I just don't feel like they're ready to be wrapped either.
Yeah, right.
Not ready for their new home. The terminated quartz. Now, this is basically a quartz that has tourmaline in it. Now, this particular quartz stimulates the third eye chakra. These stones have needle-like streaks of black tourmaline embedded in the quartz. It's especially useful for cleansing the spiritual aura in preparation for metaphysical exploration, starting refreshed and open to digging into deep reserves in our shadow self and past lives. Will give us greater awareness of our psychic insights sent to us from the universe.
So it looks like there's needles in there?
Yeah. It's a clear quartz. So you can see through it, and you see needles, long needles of just black, and that's black tourmaline. And it grew this way. Yeah, it's really a cool looking stone. Yeah. It's one of my favorites as well. Of course, I have a lot of favorites, so I guess that's not fair to say. It's one of my favorites. I wouldn't be talking about it if I didn't like it.
That's right.
So there's that. Now we have another stone kind of similar to that, the ritualated quartz. Now the ritualated quartz is an incredible cleanser stone. As it cleanses, it goes a step further to supercharge the chakra system so that every node is ready for download files from our intuition and our spirit guides. Now this particular one, similar to the one we just discussed, has golden flecks of rutile. So this, what's going through there is it's not gold, it's called rutile, but it's gold rutile. And it is little pieces of needles, like little needles of gold streaking through the stone. And these stones usually have a kind of a yellow tint to them because of the rutile. But this one works to enhance your confidence and personal willpower to embark on metaphysical adventures.
And that might have to be one that I check into. It really sounds pretty too.
Yeah, you might need to add that to your life.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yep.
And of course we have clear quartz. We can't do all the metaphysical stones without including our lovely clear quartz. This crystal should always find a way into your hands. You should have one. Like we've spoken before, it is an amplifier of anything. It amplifies anything you're working with. Clear quartz can work in concert with other stones to make everything more potent. This crystal also cleanses auras and removes distractions that limit our connections with the divine.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Now, again, little stone etiquette. And anybody that knows me knows you don't touch what I'm wearing, gemstone-wise. You ask permission, and of course, at my desk at work, I've got stones strategically placed around my desk for specific reasons. Got a lot of selenite. I've got a smoky quartz, which we're going to go into the smoky quartz shortly. But I had someone come up and just walk up to my desk, start talking to me. I have nothing. They weren't in my department, so they didn't know better. But they picked up my big old smoky quartz. And I'm just like, ah. And they're checking it out. They're just talking to me the whole time, and they're putting both hands. And I'm like, oh, I'm so going to have to cleanse you now. Like, I'm so sorry, little quartz. I'm so sorry. And he set it down, and bam, it was on a piece of selenite before you walked away. It was like, and I hope my face didn't reflect what the heck are you doing? Touch my stone, because it's like the person rarely comes into that department, so I figured he didn't need an education about being around my desk. But it's like,
I'm surprised you contained yourself. You controlled it.
So am I. And it's funny when the ladies walk by later and they're like, what did the stone do? And I said, what do you mean? It looks like it's on timeout. You have selenite. I'm like, oh, so-and-so picked it up. They did not. I'm like, yes, they did. What did you say? I went, nothing. That's why it's on the selenite. Like, didn't you tell him? I said, no, my weirdness doesn't have to transcend to all other departments. It just can stay in my department.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, don't touch Carrie stones.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't touch anybody's stones because, if you've asked a stone to work with you, whether it's a stone on your desk, your energy and that stone are working together. Mm-hmm. It's helping you. It's doing things for you. If it's jewelry you're wearing with your stones, whatever it is. So when someone else touches it, you now have their energy on it.
Right. And it probably changes the vibration of the stone as well.
Yes. And then if they're, if they're in a bad mood, you're going to also, from the empath aspect, pick up that off them touching your stone because your stone you're wearing it.
Right.
So it's always polite to ask, do you mind if I touch your stone? Because if someone's not into the metaphysical, they're not going to care. Go ahead, touch it. No problem. But if they're metaphysical, I will remove it from my neck and let them touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm going to be cleaning it before it goes back on my neck.
Right.
So it's kind of yeah. So that's a little stone etiquette. But don't... So we're going to hop on into my smoky quartz. This stone, during metaphysical work, We want to communicate with the divine with messages while we're earthbound. Smoky quartz works to ground us so we're able to have a deeper spiritual exploration. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You've got the aspect of what a quartz does, but you have the grounding effect because it's dark, it's smoky, and that smoke, that dark, because most dark things are what? Grounding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's on my desk at work. It's kind of like, to help ground my space, but it also is a quartz to help protect and clear the area.
That's great.
As it keeps us tethered to the earth, smoky quartz invites us to feel light and lifted, able to safely dive into new realms of the universe because we know we can make it back to the present. Next is black tourmaline. Another grounding and protective stone, black tourmaline rids us of fear and hesitation and feeds confidence and will. It especially works on negative energy, transforming the negative frequencies into positive vibrations to fuel your strength and vitality. So it's a very good stone to have around.
Yeah.
If not wearing it, having it close by.
Yeah, anything that works with that negative energy and transforming it has to be something that everybody should have.
All right, so our final of the 15 is black obsidian. Black obsidian has a rather specific application in shadow work. Instead of receiving divine messages, using black obsidian in metaphysical work allows you to excavate the deep recesses of your own mind and soul, unpack your fears and traumas. It prepares you to transform into the most elevated, awakened version of yourself.
Wow.
So have you made out your Christmas list yet?
Yeah. This one is probably going to be on it.
I have a heart-shaped rainbow obsidian. So it's
Oh.
black. It's black, but you've got to hit it with the light, and you see the little rainbow in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool stone. It's one of my favorites, and yeah, it's earned a spot on the bedside table, along with other little pretties. But yeah,
Right.
So how to use these metaphysical crystals?
That's a good question.
Yes, that's why we're here, and it doesn't mean throw them at people.
Right.
With a range of metaphysical crystals and stones to work with, here are 3 ways to get going with your little metaphysical journey. There are many other methods you could use, so keep exploring, see what resonates with you. These are just 3 that can kind of get you started. To support deep meditative states before embarking on any sort of metaphysical work on others, you have to get comfortable with accessing your own spiritual levels. The best way to do this is through deep, intense meditation. If you truly give yourself over to the meditative state, you will find yourself entering realms and dimensions you have never accessed before. Using these stones to keep you safe along these routes will make the transition in and out of metaphysical states more seamless and enjoyable. For protection as you enter metaphysical pathways, until you really know how to control your metaphysical abilities, it can be a good idea to carry metaphysical crystals in order to protect you from unwelcome intuitive messages that can bombard your psyche. You will gradually learn how to safely open and close your aura during metaphysical work and how to cleanse your spirit of any unwelcome energy. Then it will become even more apparent that you need protection by these stones. Now, having said that, you also should raise your vibration and do the protective light work that we've talked about in previous episodes before you try to do any spirit work.
Right.
And number 3, you're going to strengthen your intuitive abilities or your clairs. They will increase the more you pay attention to them. Invest focusing time on each ability and or abilities that you truly feel you can access will make them stronger and more accessible, like we talked about in the Claire episodes. There are so many ways to hone your intuition, and the crystals can amplify your efforts.
That is so interesting.
And I am going to point out one thing. All right. Before I turn it over to Kim, I do want to point out this is the first episode that we both did research, and we came up with different stuff.
Yes, we did.
And Kim has been beaming about it for 2 days.
Yes, I have been. I was determined to make it to where it wasn't something that you had.
Good job.
Thank you. Since ancient times, there has been a connection between crystals and the zodiac, with many societies holding that various stones can have special qualities and energies that match the signs of the zodiac. Based on the astrological calendar, the zodiac is a representation of the sky that shows the positions of the sun, moon, and planets. It is split into 12 signs. The appropriate crystals can help you bring balance to your life and improve the unique qualities and traits that each zodiac sign represents. So, as you can tell, I followed a theme from last episode, and I'm bringing the zodiacs back in. Actually, I think I've brought it in a couple of times, haven't I?
I'm noticing a theme. Kim wants to do an episode on zodiacs, I think. She hasn't brought it up yet, but I think she's getting there.
Yep, I may bring it up. We'll see. Okay, so the first one is Aries, which is March 21st through April 19th. This is the first sign of the zodiac and is characterized by vigor, exploration, and self-assurance. Crystals like red garnet, red jasper, and fire agate can boost the sign's energy, bravery, and drive. Tiger's eye is for confidence. The next one is Taurus, April 20th through May 20th. Taurus, the second zodiac sign, is known for its steadfastness, security, and steadiness. Crystals like rose quartz, green aventurine, and smoky quartz can offer solace, stability, and support for this sign. Blue kyanite is for communication. The third sign of the zodiac is Gemini, May 21st through June 20th. They are recognized for their adaptability, curiosity, and communication. Aquamarine and citrine and turquoise crystals, for example, can assist this sign's communication, adaptability, and creativity. Celestite is for communicating emotions.
I need that stone.
I was just thinking I need that stone too.
I'm not a Gemini, but I need that stone.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those.
Which is one you need, huh?
Oh, the gem show opens on Thursday.
Hey.
The shopping list has started.
There you go. So Cancer is June 21st through July 22nd. It's the fourth sign of the zodiac and is linked to feeling, intuition, and caring. Moonstone, rose quartz, and pearl crystals, for example, can assist this sign by calming their emotions, enhancing their intuition, and encouraging self-care. Red jasper is great for grounding. Leo, July 23rd through August 22nd, is the fifth astrological sign and is characterized by boldness, self-assurance, and creativity. Carnelian, garnet, and sunstone crystals can assist the sign by enhancing their sense of courage, creativity, and self-worth. Red tiger's eye is great for manifestation. Virgo, August 23rd through September 22nd, is the sixth sign of the zodiac. Virgo is known for its practicality, order, and attention to detail. Crystals like peridot, serpentine, and agate can assist this sign by fostering clarity, effectiveness, and organization. Lapidolite for change. Libra, September 23rd through October 22nd, is the seventh sign of the zodiac. Libras are characterized by harmony, equilibrium, and creativity. Crystals for this sign that serve to promote harmony, peace, and creativity include amethyst, pink tourmaline, and rose quartz. Lapis lazuli is for decision making.
Are you going to get one of those?
Yeah, I might be getting one of those. Because we all know I have problems with decision making.
Hmm.
True Libra. Scorpio, October 23rd to November 21st, is the 8th sign of the zodiac and is linked to desire, intensity, and change. Obsidian, malachite, and garnet crystals can assist this sign by bringing passion, grounding, and protection. Sagittarius, November 22nd through December 21st, is the 9th sign of the zodiac and is characterized by optimism, independence, and adventure. Turquoise, topaz, and jasper crystals can support this sign's desire for exploration, self-discovery, and positivity. Now, Capricorn is December 22nd to January 19th. It is the 10th sign of the zodiac and represents duty, discipline, and willpower. Onyx, jet, and hematite crystals can assist this sign by bringing stability, determination, and focus. Aquarius, January 20th through February 18th, is the 11th sign of the zodiac and is recognized for its inventiveness, independence, and humanitarianism. Crystals such as amethyst, labradorite are used for this sign. So Pisces is from February 19th to March 20th, and they are creative, compassionate, and intuitive, and romantic. The stones for this one are amethyst, aquamarine, and moonstone. And these are to encourage emotional clarity, courage, nurturing intuition and emotional stability, and spiritual awareness.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I found a way that you could carry your crystals and stones with you. It is a crystal medicine pouch. Now, the purpose of a medicine pouch is to bring positive energy and offer protection from outside influences. A crystal medicine pouch is a small bag that includes crystals, gemstones, or other things that you could put in there. Making the pouch is a quick and satisfying project for yourself or as a present for someone special. So the first thing you want to do is choose your crystals. Select crystals that have the healing qualities and energies that will work with your intentions and goals. Some common ones are clear quartz, which encourages clarity, concentration, and healing. It's a potent all-purpose crystal that can amplify the energy in other crystals. Amethyst, as you talked about, is a purple crystal that fosters serenity, tranquility, and spiritual development. Citrine is yellow, that encourages imagination, wealth, and success. Rose quartz is a pink crystal that encourages compassion, affection, and mental health. Black tourmaline, a dark stone that offers grounding, protection, and energy clearing. And this is one you talk about all the time, is shungite.
Yes, I have that on my necklace.
Yeah. This black crystal guards against evil spirits and fosters harmony and balance. Labradorite, it's a gray or blue crystal that encourages mental development and self-discovery and intuition. So those are some that you could choose based on what your needs are for the pouch. Now, you choose a pouch or bag. You can use cloth, suede, leather, even a small drawstring purse can be used. Consider the size and shape of the crystals and make certain they will fit snugly inside the bag. Cleanse your stones, because you want to cleanse the crystals of any accumulated bad energy or effects before putting them in the pouch. This can be cleansed using smudging with sage, like you've talked about on previous episodes, or Palo Santo, saltwater bath, or exposing them to sunshine or moonlight, or putting them on the selenite.
Now, Kim,
Yes.
one thing I have done is I've actually put sage and tobacco in my medicine bag.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Now, what does the tobacco do?
Well, it's tobacco, spiritual benefit wise, it's a tool you can use for meditation, spiritual journeying, and shamanic practices. So tobacco is a purifier. It does purification. So I just kept loose tobacco in my medicine bag because I felt that it was needed. And it's not like I'm smoking it, so there's no harmful side effects to it or anything.
Right.
But if it's good for meditation and spiritual journeying, I figured it needs to come along with the rest of the guys.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, it just doesn't go through the washing machine very well.
No.
No, neither
Yeah,
does
try
the
not to get it
sage.
wet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great information. So the next step is to set your intention. Spend time clearing your thoughts and concentration on your objects. Imagine that each stone in your hand is filled with uplifting energy and is prepared to support and direct you. You can also repeat self-affirmation. Place the crystals inside the pouch. You can either place them in a particular pattern or just randomly. I have just take mine and just, I shouldn't say plop them in there. I place them in there so that whenever I need them, I can just rub the bag. You can also include additional components such as herbs, oils, or talismans.
Now, I would like to reiterate what we talked about in previous episodes. You should ask the crystals if they'll work for you before you put them in the pouch.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next step is to close and seal the pouch. Simply tie the pouch shut or stitch it closed using needle and thread. You can use twine, ribbon, or other material, whatever you have. This is done to prevent the stone from spilling out, which makes sense. You don't want them all over the floor.
They'll break.
Right? Personalize your pouch. You can make the pouch uniquely yours by including embellishments or writing statements on it. Just imbue the pouch with your energy and intentions by coloring the pouch or embellishing it with beads or other things to make it your own. Now it is time to start using your pouch. The pouch can be kept in special locations where you'll frequently see it, such as bedside table, desk at work, or take it everywhere you go. The energy will grow stronger the more you work with it. Now I put mine in my purse or in a pocket, as if I'm going somewhere and I've got pockets, I like to keep it in my pocket because there's times like whenever I'm having a lot of energy, I haven't grounded well or whatever, I'll take that out and just put my hand in my pocket and rub the pouch, and it helps me to calm down and feel better.
I keep mine in my purse because I usually am wearing stones. You know, I usually have like a minimum of 2 bracelets on. I always have a protective stone around my neck.
Right.
You know, whether it's my psychic necklace or a clear quartz or rose quartz or something. I usually have something on. So I usually keep mine in my pocketbook.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's less likely to go through the washing machine that way
Yeah.
because I have kept it in my pocket and it has gone through the washing machine. And yeah, that is not good for leather.
No,
It's not good for leather.
not at all.
No.
And not good for your stones and end in ite.
Yes, the ites don't like it.
That's right. Okay, the last things that I have, they were just some interesting facts that I found. Carrie's probably covered some of them, but I found them interesting. So crystals have been revered for thousands of years. Records show that crystals were thought to have healing and protective qualities thousands of years ago in places like Egypt, Greece, and China. Crystals then had a huge resurgence in the 1980s with the emergence of the New Age movement and have often been grouped together with other spiritual practices such as meditation, yoga, and mindfulness. Some crystals disintegrate in water. A rock-hard crystal might seem like it could last forever, but some crystals are so chemically fragile that they actually dissolve in water. Selenite is among the most notorious for this. It won't disappear
Yes.
immediately like cotton candy in water, but even running it underwater in the sink can wear down the crystal's finish, enough to make the surface noticeably different. So that you would actually clean out in the sun or the moon? Is that?
Yes. Or you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Next is some crystals crack without water. At the other end of the spectrum are crystals and minerals that need to be kept moist, like opals. Opals extracted from newly excavated earth are often called wet opals, and they need to be stored and displayed in water. They can be dried, but it's a tricky process. If you buy a cut or polished opal that was not stored in water, you don't need to place it in liquid, as it will have been treated properly before being sold. But if you buy an opal that's displayed in a closed, water-filled container, do not remove the crystal at any point, because it will crack and break.
Now, I this is the jewelry person coming out here on opals. Now, opals you should oil, mineral oil, rub it on your opal jewelry, and that helps keep it from drying out and cracking.
Yep.
Because it can't take extreme heat or extreme cold you can't run your hands under hot water. You could crack it.
Right.
If you should not cook in it because it's such a soft stone. Here's a fun fact. I don't know if you know this one, Kim, or not, but opals had a huge surge of popularity. I believe it was in the 40s. I'd have to double check that fact. But they were becoming very popular, and jewelry stores, opals weren't expensive at the time. So they were not selling their expensive stones like diamonds.
Oh.
So because the stone cracks so easily, the jewelry community came up with the whole, you can't wear opal unless your birthstone, it's bad luck, the stone will crack and break, and if that happens, it's bad luck for you. So they would stop buying opals if it wasn't their birthstone and start buying the other stones. And that has kind of stuck and carried through. A lot of people don't buy opals because it's not their birthstone because of that. But that was actually started by the jewelry community.
Oh, that's funny.
One. Yeah, it's really funny. It's like you can wear any stone you want, but you have to know how to care for that stone.
That's right.
And yeah, opals are not an everyday leave it on wear stone.
Right. They're only for special occasions and not when it's sub-zero temperatures outside neither. So
Right. They almost need to be treated like pearls. Pearls don't take well to hairspray and cologne. So pearls are the last thing you put on and the first thing you take off.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the same kind of criteria for opals.
Makes sense.
So opals aren't a good metaphysical stone. You're not going to throw an opal into your medicine bag.
Right.
Because you're not going to have it when you open your bag back up.
Exactly.
You'll have some dust, but it won't be there anymore.
Okay, the next one is substitutes and modifications are common. It pays to get your crystals and gems from a reputable dealer because confusion between certain mineral groups is common. One of the better-known imposters is spinel. It is a crystal that comes in several different colors and was long confused with rubies and sapphires. Crystals can be modified, too, to make them look like other stones. Heat treating is very common. For example, purple amethyst and yellow citrine are naturally occurring crystals, but if you heat treat purple amethysts, you can change the color to make it look like yellow citrine. All clear gemstones for jewelry purposes are heat treated, excluding diamonds, but some colored diamonds might be heat treated though.
And a reputable dealer should disclose that information.
Ah, good point.
So if you're looking at a pink diamond and it's a good sized diamond and you're only paying a couple $100 for that, you're going to question that one.
Ah, yep.
Because, your colored diamonds are more rare. So if it's something, it's a buyer beware situation. If it's something really cheap, then you need to really delve into what is that stone really.
Right, exactly. You can use some crystals in pairs or groups. Did you know that you can use crystals together for the purpose of manifestation? Some crystals work together really well to heal and strengthen your energy. Rose quartz and celestite, a light blue crystal, are a beautiful pair of crystals that you can use with your heart and throat chakras. Or you can use rose quartz and amethyst for calm, unconditional love. Remember that personal preference also plays a role in crystal use. So if you don't like crystals that they're commonly paired with, you don't have to use them together. Be led by your gut and your own desires with it. Quartz can heal itself. Now this one I found fascinating because I did not know this at all. The crystal quartz points that you buy, quartz is typically spiky, with pointed edges. They were most likely found during mining, having broken off from the main cluster. Many of these points display something called self-healing on their broken ends. The quartz that once broke off starts to grow new little crystals on that end. If you see a quartz point with the cluster end full of little scale-like forms or tiny points, you've likely got yourself a self-healing quartz.
Well, I'm going to have fun at the gem show, looking at the quartzes.
Right? I never knew that.
Are you self-healing?
Yeah.
Are you self-healing? Let me see you.
Yeah. That just floored me. I was like, wow. Okay, so crystals have species. Yes, like animals, crystals and minerals have species. These are groupings of minerals that share the same basic chemical makeup. Each species has varieties within it that vary by color, which is usually caused by the inclusion of another mineral. Common mineral species include quartz, beryl, and corundum. Where it gets really interesting is that a lot of the minerals we think are separate crystals are actually the same mineral, just a different color. For example, rubies and sapphires are both varieties of corundum. Sapphires can be any color under the rainbow except when they are red, then they are rubies.
When they're red, they become rubies.
And emeralds are part of the beryl family.
Yes, and they can be clear. They can be different colors as well, not just green.
Okay, thank you. Crystals can fade when exposed to light. Semi-transparent crystals can fade noticeably over time, so it's best to store them out of direct light. That means no windowsills. Other types of crystals, like crystal balls or lead crystals, should always be kept away from the sunlight. They tend to be made of glass and magnify the heat of the sunlight, which can start a fire in extreme cases.
Girl, I am not taking my stones out of the window. It's not happening. Not in no way.
Well, that's just what I found. I just thought they were interesting little tidbits.
Well, it is true some stones do fade, but if I've got a quartz in my window and it's a clear quartz, it should be good. I have a lepidolite in the window that's it's a pink stone. It's not see-through. I have them in the windows in my bedroom for protection.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not display pieces.
Right.
So to me, if they were to fade in color, that won't fade in their abilities.
Right.
But if you bought an expensive stone, then you would definitely not want to put it in your window.
Right.
If there's an opportunity that it could fade.
Sure. And the lead crystal and stuff in there, I mean, who would have thought? Magnifying light, it could start a fire.
That might just be divine intervention or something. I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
That was my contribution to not having Carrie's notes.
No, you got to feel bad for Kim and tell her she did a great job, because my former career was in the jewelry industry.
It was. I was, you know.
and I do have a gemology.
She does. And I have none
Education.
of that. So, yeah.
So she really put herself out there. So great job, Kim. I think that was very good.
Well,
and good job on coming up with something different.
Thank you. No promises on anything
promises.
else. I'm sorry.
Nothing after this.
Right.
Now, on final thoughts, not everybody is drawn to metaphysical experience or the metaphysical work. However, we also don't always get to decide when the universe will send us divine messages that can unpin everything we thought we knew. By recognizing the power of metaphysical abilities, you can begin to understand the depths of the spirit world we have the opportunity to explore with the help of beautiful metaphysical crystals. We can set out a more pleasant guided spiritual journey into divine dimensions.
That's wonderful.
Yes. And they make you feel good.
Yes, they do. They look great.
Yes, and I am a stone hoarder. It's really difficult to clean them in certain periods of the week.
Yeah.
Okay. But they no longer go outside, so the raccoon can grab them.
That's right.
That happened 4 years ago, and I haven't let it go yet.
No, don't let it go.
No, I'm not going to let it go yet. All right, Kim, you want to talk about our next episode?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the next episode is the fear factor. how fear affects psychic abilities, and overcoming fear and letting it go.
Well, I think, when we first started this journey, we talked about the fear factor a lot.
Yes.
And I think now that we've gone through several teaching episodes of Between the Chakras, Empath series, the Clairs, I think we're now ready to address that fear factor a little bit more and a little more, delve in a little bit deeper.
I agree. And I know I say this every episode, I'm working on it, but I have really been trying to face some fears lately, so.
Well,
like spiders.
Yes. Yeah. There's one thing about, owning who you are. It seems in my experience that I keep getting these opportunities pushed in front of me, and I'm saying pushed in front of me because I wasn't ready to tell people that, I'm psychic.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like you tell one person at work, and I guess they think it's really cool. My group that I work with thinks it's cool, but they knew me first,
right?
But when someone who doesn't know you finds out you're a psychic, and then they come up with all these weird, why don't you win the lottery?
Yes.
Oh, don't you know the question I'm going to ask you? No. So it seems like those kind of people keep getting, pushed in front of me for me to kind of be, hey, well, you know what? This is who I am, and you don't have to like it. Oh, no, I think it's cool. No, you don't, because you're making some really bad statements. But
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are one of the fears to face that we'll be talking about.
Yes.
I
think that wraps up this episode. What about you?
I agree with that one totally.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. And again, reach out to us on Facebook, on our email address, because Kim's going to give that to you, because I always forget the one in Psychic Bent.
psychicbent1@gmail.com.
And please reach out with any questions, thoughts, ideas for a new show, a new episode. I mean, not a new show.
Yeah.
Next one's going to be on dating apps, but that's down the road.
That's right.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Bye.
Bye. May your light shine bright.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Psychic Bent. If you enjoyed Psychic Bent, please like, follow, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. We can be reached on Facebook at Psychic Bent Podcast. Our email address is psychicbent1@gmail.com. May your light shine bright.